it's Reagan, and today I'm here to bring you a dual review of Vengeance Road and Retribution Rails by Aaron Bowman, and this video is being sponsored in part by HMH Teen. Now it is currently pouring down rain, which I feel like is a ongoing and continuous trend for all of my videos. Like every time I try to film on the weekends, it's pouring, and then I'm like, crap, the lighting's gonna suck. But here we are, moving along, because we persevere. Now, this is a companion series. The first one, Vengeance Road, came out a few years ago, and this sequel just came out. They do not technically follow the same main characters, but I would definitely recommend reading Vengeance Road before Retribution Rails, as there are a few story Easter eggs that we enjoy throughout the story. Overall, I greatly enjoyed both of these books. I flew through them both so fast. I think I read both of them in less than 48 hours, which really speaks to a really good time and a fun time for a book. Moving on to the specific review, I'm gonna start with Vengeance Road by Aaron Bowman. Now this is a Western revenge tale following our main character Kate, who at the beginning of the story, unfortunately her father is murdered by a gang of like rough riders who basically are after her father's mysteries. She then sets out on an adventure across America, through the desert, through various towns to seek their murder and, you know, avenge her father. Kate is a gunslinger, doesn't take no for an answer, and she is a powerful, mighty person. This book is a lot of fun because we follow Kate through a lot of different situations. She gains the help of two kind of like long lost family friends of her father and their sons, and then she kind of makes the journey. We see her like have to cross-dress as a boy, cross-dress as a lady of the night, and just basically infiltrate all sorts of different Western scenarios. It was honestly a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. Specifically going into details, Kate as a main character was such a joy to read from. She is funny, she is witty, she's strong, she's flawed, as I feel like any main character should be, but she was just really fun to read from. You understood in some ways where she was coming from, but obviously this being like a gunslinging Western, you're like, I don't know if I would take the law like that in my hands, Kate, but like, hats off to you, miss. It was also really cool to see a woman be so powerful in this time period. Oftentimes we get just like men centered in these stories, not so much women going out and, you know, pistol shooting and doing all those sorts of things. Additionally, the side characters in this book were a lot of fun. We follow Will and Jesse, who join Kate on her journey, and they also have a complicated and interesting backstory that really adds to the overall ambiance of this tale. You really grow to love all the characters that you're reading about, which just makes the story overall way more fun. My favorite aspect of this book had to be the setting though. This Western setting felt so real. I felt like I could feel the grit on my face between my fingernails, like the saloon doors, the music, the shootouts. It was just so great. Like the sheriffs and just everything about it was just exactly what I wanted out of a Western tale. It was just so much fun. And then obviously like the single-mindedness of the plot. This was pure and simple a revenge tale. It is called Vengeance Road with a bit of mystery thrown in there. Just made it easy and quick to read. I liked that the author was like, I want to write a Western revenge tale, and then she delivered in full, and it was such a fun time. Overall, I gave this book a 3.75 or 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was such a fun ride. Again, I read it so quickly that honestly I can't really fault it on the entertainment value because I was entertained through and through throughout this entire book. So yeah, that's my review of the first one. So the sequel, Retribution Rails, literally just came out today, I believe, when I'm posting this video. And this book I honestly liked even more than the first one. This is actually a dual perspective story. This time we follow our main characters, Reese Murphy and Charlotte Vaughn, and we actually get to read from both of their perspectives, which is nice because the first one was just a single perspective story, Kate, which I liked and I enjoyed, but I really feel like this dual perspective narrative really opened up the narrative world of this, and I really enjoyed it. This was still a Western story, but it focused on different aspects. So the first one was very much a revenge tale. It was very much a journey tale. And this one had like revenge elements, but our main characters are very different from each other and also, you know, are looking for different things. Reese Murphy is part of a very horrible gang. He was like tricked into it as a child and he wants to do anything to escape it. And Charlotte Vaughn is an aspiring reporter, and she has a lot of family drama herself as her father just passed away and her evil uncle is after her fortune and like her mother's hand in marriage. It's intense. Their paths cross unexpectedly and they both kind of have to work together to achieve their goals. Reese Murphy wants to start over and clear his name, and he wants to step away from the gang life he's always known, and Charlotte Vaughn needs help like saving her family, essentially. Again, I just really loved the characters in this one. Charlotte really differs from Kate in a lot of interesting ways. Like, she's not a gunslinger, but they're both super strong in similar ways as well. Like, they're both incredibly driven to get what they want, but they just go about it a little differently. Charlotte as a main character was just so fun to read about, because obviously newspapers were a blowing up thing in this time period in the 1800s in America. So to read about like sensationalist reporting and how she like hates that was just like a fun little historical nugget that I appreciated. Additionally, the story is very much centered around railroads, which was so cool, because obviously again, railways were a huge thing that was expanding across America at this time, kind of opening up, you know, travel from east to west and making America just like a very different place. A lot of this book centered around railroads, from like railway heists to railway reporting to the opening of new railways. It was such a cool setting. Additionally, there was a lot of really amazing nuggets from the first book present in this book overall, which I really liked. But the aspect of this book I just feel like I just enjoyed a little more was I really liked this dual perspective narrative. I felt like I felt more aware of these characters' emotions, and I just really rooted for them. I also just enjoyed the reporting element a lot with Charlotte. I thought she was funny and a bit of a firecracker, and I like seeing her do anything to explore the scoop that she feels like is gonna make her career. Obviously, the dynamic of Reese Murphy being and trying to escape this part of a gang was an incredibly interesting and powerful part of the storyline to read from. Overall though, this book was just as fun as the first one. We still had shootouts, we still had like impersonations and plans and all sorts of crazy things to try to get what the characters need to move on. Obviously, the Wild Wild West is a very different time in terms of like law and like trying to survive and the sort of things you gotta do to like make sure your family is safe. And in that, I feel like Aaron Bowman did a great job capturing that spirit and that voice. It was just so much fun to read. I also just felt like the Western setting was a little more expanded in this book in a way, which I liked as well. Like, while we were kind of central to one city, I just felt like we had other parts of the Western setting explored, which I just thought was really fun in this novel. Overall, I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was so good and so much fun, and just again, such a joy to read. Like, it's a perfect, fast, fun, adventure-filled read, and I honestly could not recommend it more highly, but yes. Alrighty guys, that is my non-spoiler review of Vengeance Road and Retribution Rails by Aaron Bowman. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon with another one soon. Goodbye!